been setting up the energies for today, knowing exactly who is going to show up. I think some more that are not here will. And then I have handouts for all of you. And some of you, I've already given it to you, but I'm going to share that and take one and pass it on. I hope we have enough for everyone, because inevitably some people that say they're coming don't show. And then I have some people that I obviously didn't get on my list. So hopefully we'll have enough. And if not, we'll share, and then I'll get you the handouts later. Yes, Scotty? No, we're probably okay. So,
Abracadabra.
He's a guy. Came in that dog outfit or something. What was it? Something. Yeah.
so I love the 4 agreements. I think if we only just practice the golden rule and the 4 agreements, we'd have a whole different world. So I'm just going to share with you really quickly the 4 agreements. There are actually 5. I'll share all 5. So be impeccable with your word. That's a good one, because our word really does have power. In the beginning was the word, and we are that. Don't take anything personally. That's a really hard one for humans anyway.
It is.
And don't make assumptions. Always do your best and see truth. Recover your authenticity. Change your message you deliver to yourself and all others.
Don't you be great, because yes, it really is.
And so just be mindful. This is all about awareness and being present with our bodies, because our body is a holographic image of our essential self, our great I am. And it really is the mandate now, is to be kind and loving to ourselves and to stay grounded, because the earth is moving us and we all want to be with her into this golden age of Aquarius. And you would be surprised at how powerful you are and how many unaware people can go just by you staying grounded and present in your body. So let's just close our eyes just for a minute and see if we can't feel that beautiful presence that the seraphim have anchored into the sanctuary and to the space around this church. And as you just tune into that, I'm just going to read you a prologue, which came from Emmanuel's first published book, as it was channeled by Pat Rodecast. The gifts I wish to give you are my deepest love, the safety of truth, the wisdom of the universe, and the reality of God. With these 4 things, nothing will deter you. You will follow your heart swiftly to your destination, which is home. I know there is confusion and doubt in what appears to be chaos. Can you see that beneath these surface shadows, there is eternal light? This earth plan is neither the beginning nor the end of your existence. It is simply a step, a schoolroom. My friends, let me impress upon you how solidly you are planted in eternity, how brilliantly you can shine in your own physical world, how possible it all is, how beautifully the plan is designed. In God's plan, no soul is alone. No soul is ever lost. Take that in. Isn't that beautiful? So, has everyone received all the handouts that are here in the sanctuary? And for those of you on Zoom who have just recently received, you will be receiving them. So as much as you can, stay present with what we're all doing together as a unified field, because we have called that unified field in, and we're all, each and every one of us, going to be receiving exactly what we need this afternoon. And it will be immense, but it will be only what your heart and your body and your soul can handle, and trust that. So for those of you who haven't heard my story, I'll just give you a little brief outline. When I was about 30 years old, somewhere around there, I thought we were destroying the planet. And I thought life was not fair, and it didn't seem like it was fair here. And I also hadn't had any direct experience of anything greater. Maybe I had, but I hadn't recognized it. And I had grown up as a Methodist and sometimes attended other churches as well. But, you know, it didn't seem like that was it. And so I really needed to know. I couldn't live without knowing that something greater existed, and that the things that I did love on this planet were a part of that something greater. And I'd never had an experience. So about that time, someone brought me a book that talked about rebirth. And it was kind of a funny book, but I said, well, at least this is fair. At least this makes sense. And so I was open that something that really was cause and effect in a loving way was a part of who we all are. And then I also received a book on how to meditate. Well, in the Methodist Church, you don't learn to meditate. You pray and you supplicate for what it is you need, or at least that was my church in my little hometown in Eastern Colorado. And so I was really desperate to know. And so one night in bed, I was practicing what the book said, which was a picture, a beautiful scene that really brought me a sense of belonging and peace and beauty. And all of a sudden in my inner vision, a mountain appeared. And I think it was Mount Shasta, but who knows, who cares? And at that point, putting my attention on that mountain, I popped out of my body, saw myself and my husband on the bed, and it scared the bejeebies out of me because I thought it was the body. And so my heart was pounding, but I kind of liked what that quivery sensation was being out of the body. But because I was in fear, it didn't stick. And so at that point, after a long time of heart pounding, I went to sleep. Magically, the next morning, I woke up in an altered state. And that had to have been a gift from the divine, because I had nothing to do with it. And throughout my life, I've had nothing to do with a lot of things that are mystical and gifts. So for 3 days, I saw the world through rose-colored glasses. Everywhere I looked, I could see love. And it was what I knew we were all here for, because that's what we're all after, is that greater unconditional love, that of which we were made. So that's my story. And unfortunately, I tried to tell those I loved around me. My 2 boys who were mid-elementary, they got it because they were close enough from that spiritual place that they remembered enough to know that there was goodness somehow coming out of my field. And the other loved ones around me weren't quite so sure. They thought I was a little bit wonkers. And they kind of fought it and were kind of angry. And it frustrated me. And so after the third day of experiencing miracles and having things happen spontaneously that I had no control over, I said, this is too hard. And the energy that was so profound and so huge and so beautiful obeyed. And it went down through my body and back into the earth. And I'm sure, looking back on it now, that that was appropriate. I probably couldn't have handled carrying that energy on a full-time basis. I don't know. Again, as human, I think we have to be okay with not knowing. And right now, I love not knowing. I have absolutely no clue when I send energy to someone else what's going to happen or what it's doing. I trust, and it always does the right and perfect thing. So that's sort of my story. A little bit of my story is that after almost 63 years of having a very supportive husband, not in the beginning, however, we had some really dark night years together. My husband exited and went into the spirit world last November. And so I've been navigating with higher support from his end as well as the greater. And I even see that as a gift. Do I feel sorrowful and do I miss him? Of course. But I am so grateful that he is feeling fulfilled and loving his new assignment in the spiritual realms. And I think it is so important that all of us know that we go on, that we're not just this funny little body that is navigating this funny earth, that we're much more. So the other thing I want to share is on your first page of the handout, and I hope everyone has handouts now. On the first page of your handout is a picture of the I Am electronic circle. And that is the expanse of energy I was in during that 3 days. Now, that didn't mean that I knew anything. I just only knew what I needed to know in the moment. And I knew I was loved eternally and unconditionally. And so that's really, as human, what we're longing to embody on this earth, to bring the earth into these higher octaves. And so downstairs where those books are that I'm going to talk about in case during the break you want to thumb through any of them, and also where the accelerators are, the DNA accelerators are, there are tiny little pocket size, something that you can put in your wallet or in your pocket. And you're free to take those as long as they last. And if we run out and you think you want more, I can probably print some of those off for you. So in the beginning, because we're going to do a lot of really physical things. This class, by the way, you are co-creating this with me, even though I get to do all the talking and movement to show you what to do. You are co-creating this, and this is experiential. Again, we've asked all of us, and I assume you wouldn't be here if you wouldn't have asked for what was highest and best as well. So that's what this whole afternoon is going to be about, is embodying as much of that nurturing, unconditional love light as our physical bodies can handle safely. I always say that we always ask for compassion, mercy, grace, and ease. Aren't you all okay with that? Yes, thank you. All right, so just to kind of get us going, we're going to go over the first page, and then I'm going to have you put your handouts down, because then we're going to do things and everything you're going to take home. So if there's anything you need to come back to, or anything that speaks to you that you want to try out in your daily aspirations, then you can go back to the materials. We aren't possibly going to get through all the materials. We have 10 pages that are full of things, and I never get through this class, and I've been doing this class for years, but this is an entirely new class because I have entirely new tools. So here we go. Let us all connect to that I am presence energy that's in that picture below. And if you want, but you don't have to, you can put your right hand up and your left hand down so that you're not only connecting to heaven, but you're connecting to earth. And I like to call in Archangel Metatron to bring in the heavenly energies and Archangel Sandalphon to anchor them into the earth. And then slowly feeling the energy as much as you can, bring your hands together at your heart center into that namaste. And the namaste position in and of itself is a balancer. Anytime you put your hands together, you're helping to bring your body into balance, whether you know it or not. So we're here to remove core negatives, especially fear and feeling separate. Life is much more than it seems. We know that gratitude, love, and praise are keys. And remember constantly that we are a spiritual being having a physical experience and are much more than we seem to be. So we're going to all practice being joyful, smiling a lot. Intent is paramount. You are life's love. Breathe. Breathe deeply during this entire afternoon and command with feeling. The call compels the answer. So anytime you call and make a command, asking and trusting, it has to be acknowledged. It's a universal law. So that's why it's so important to call, because we're in free will and the angels and all of the higher dimensional beings cannot help us if we aren't asking. And asking questions is wonderful too, because if you ask a question, you will receive an answer. The call compels the answer. So we just have to be mindful and realize that that is so. Innate body awareness will guide you. Listen and trust, trust, trust. This is all inner child work. And we all have wounded children, if not from this lifetime, from wherever we have been in our past evolvement. So this whole afternoon is about paying attention to your body. I believe and I trust that the Elohim and the Seraphim have held enough of a sacred container for all of us, because we're massive here, to let us all hold that inner child awareness enough for all of us to let go of whatever it is that seems to come up. But I do encourage you to take care of yourself. So if something comes up and you need the support of the collective, put your hand up and we'll all support and bring in more energy to help move that out if an inner awareness or an emotional trauma happens to come up. Chances are it will come in dream time when you're asleep or when you're quiet or when you're in a place where it will be easier maybe for you than in a crowd. All right, smile, 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 connecting to the vaster, bigger you. And I do have a smile meditation, but I didn't put it on your handouts because you have 10 sheets, but it's wonderful. I have two wonderful smile meditations. And one is from the master Paramahansa Yogananda, and the other is from a Swami from India. I think he's still alive. I saw him several years ago, and he gave me a bliss experience. And aren't we all here for bliss experiences? Yes. So if you want me to email it to you, I would be more than happy. And so what you have to do is where you have given me your name and address, you just have to put a check mark. Those of you on Zoom, you'll just have to email me. But put a check mark by your name and say smile, or put a little smile sign. And then the other handout that I have is about creating a still point. So at some point this afternoon, I hope to share that with you too. And so from the Upledger Institute, I'm a cranial sacral therapist. I'm other things too, as we all are, but that's one of the things I studied. And still points are very good to reboot the body computer. And in these fastly accelerating times, we need to reboot our body computer. Probably quite often. Our body does this naturally, but we can physically do things to our body to create it and to slow the body's energies down so that the presence can come in and help us integrate. So I've shared those things to you. If you want the CV4 technique, just put 2 checks mark by your name, and then I'll know that you want both of those handouts via email. Okay, back to that first page, grounding and balance. And I can't speak enough about grounding and balance and how important it is now, because everything that hasn't served the planet and us is breaking down so that we can break through. And we're seeing this in the outer world. And if we only identify with what we're seeing in the outer world and our body, it can be terrifying. And so that's why we're here together, is to support each other in having an experience of knowing how much more we are. So the most important thing is to make the calls for balance and light from source. And when you ask for it, you want to ground it all the way down. We'll have grounding techniques later on. But the most important thing that you can do is to put your hand on your heart center. And as you do this, and let's all do this now, I like to put one hand on my heart center, which is right in the center of the chest, and the other hand just above it, which connects us to the greater, the more planetary and cosmic self. And it also covers our physical heart. And our physical heart is 5,000 times more magnetically powerful than our brain. Did you all know that? Heart math has scientifically proven that. So that's why putting our hands on our heart, when it's appropriate, of course, is so important. And feel the preciousness of you as you do this. Cherish what is beneath you that is so magnificent and so eternal. Beautiful. I can feel it. It is so good. Can't you all feel this? This is so cool. All right. And as often as you can, when you use your breath, know that you're not breathing just oxygen in, you're breathing in the cosmos. That's why mystics can have breathless states. We're more. And if we don't get it right, guess what? We have another chance always, because God never gives up. God, Goddess, never gives up on any one of us. And I forgot to tell you to mute your cell phones if you have one, or you can, I don't care if you put it on airplane mode. We're all airplane on some level anyway. All right. So be aware of any kind of negativity that you feel, and look into it and see if it's yours, or if it's the collective's, or if it's something that you need to clear. And there are really easy things that we're going to do throughout the afternoon that will clear, and they clear instantly. And as often as you can, don't take on that negativity. And cross crawls will do that too. They help us as well as crossing the midline. And we'll do more of that later on as well. Once you, another important thing that we can do is to visualize our entire field in a magenta bubble. And magenta, because it's a collection of the violet flame, which is the transmuting cosmic flame, and also the love, which is the third ray, the pink ray. And so when you put magenta, it's a combination of the pink ray and the violet ray, and it's the 9th cosmic ray as well. And maybe it's the 9th dimensional ray. There are people that channel from that ray that are on the internet, as a matter of fact. And as we're moving into higher and higher dimensional states, when you feel that imbalance, because we are intentional now and becoming more all the time, any kind of imbalance just feels awful. And so celebrate it, but get back into balance as quickly as you can, because it does mean that you're moving. And that's a great thing. All right. I do want to share about Paramahansa Yogananda. He's one of my favorite beings. And when just before he made his exit from the planet and graduated, and his body didn't decay unlike most of ours when we leave this body. His didn't. And when he graduated, he knew he was going, and his prime directive was to give as much information to his disciples and devotees as possible. And so he has self-realization exercises. But he also said that one important thing was to ask before any new situation presented itself to you is, what is wishing or desiring to happen here? And then feel into it, be quiet and feel what that might be, and then just follow your heart. And sometimes it might not be what your head wants you to do. But more and more as we do this, will we be quiet and know, and will follow our soul's journey to the highest and best outcome, which is always win-win ultimately, and it always brings us joy. I also have to talk about Saint Germain, and I included a picture that someone painted of him. And he is the ascended being who holds the cosmic focus for humanity for the next 2,000-year cycle, working with diplomacy and transformation on the violet ray cosmic spectrum of light. And Dr. Scott Werner is someone on the planet who has a decree for activating our 24 strands of DNA. If you feel guided to that, his website is down below at the bottom of that paragraph. Also on that purple violet spectrum is the Archangel Zadkiel, and there are people on the planet who are bringing in templates for temples, which will help our planet clear the environment and clear the toxins that are on our planet right now. So there's lots of good things happening. And unfortunately, we don't really usually see that on our internet or on our media focus. So the next thing I want to share with you before we move to the last page is the cosmic reset button. So Cosmic Mark gave us this. And also when Yasha was working with someone in the 90s, the early 90s, he reinforced this, that within our body is a connection to our soul self. So between your heart and your throat center, right here where the thymus gland, which regulates our immune system, right in this area is the cosmic reset button. So all you have to do is put a few fingers here quietly. You can do this in a crowd and nobody will know what you're doing at all. I mean, does it look like it's offensive at all? No, it just looks like you're doing something to your body. No big deal. But can you feel the quietness and the quickening as you put your hand here? And if you can't, just practice, you will. It goes all the way through, actually. It goes all the way through. You can also focus on the back of your heart and get the same connection with your soulful self. All right, now I'm going to move to the last page, but you don't have to look because we're going to be doing a lot of these. So I'll talk some, but we're going to also do some energetic work. And so what I'm going to ask you to do is to do what you can. If at any time I'm telling you something to do that your body isn't quite ready to do, I'll either, if I don't think of giving you something alternative to do, just put your hand up and that'll remind me to tell you an alternative something to do to your body. But the most important thing is to be grateful and to smile. And even when you don't feel like it. If you wake up grumpy, the best thing in the world is to listen to some laughter yoga stuff or just to make yourself laugh. And I have a laugh track. Once in Mount Shasta, I loved pine cones that came from sugar pines, and they were this big. And I so loved them. And then I couldn't find them for years. And then when I went back with a group, I found them and I was so excited and I laughed so hard that I had an accident. But it was so joyful. And I even laughed afterwards. And the group that was with me in the car going back started we all got the giggles, and someone recorded it. And so when I need to get out of the grumps, I just listen to the laugh track. So I suggest that you do the very same thing. Make yourself hilariously laugh and put it on your phone. I guess you all have iPhones. I don't like them, but and then you can just listen and it'll make you feel good. All right. And the other thing that you can do after you have any kind of shift, you want to tap it in. So if I think of it today, I'll have us all do tapping. So you want to tap on your temples and tap on your crown. And what this does is it helps anchor in to body memory so that you don't go backwards. We're always moving forwards so that we don't go downstream. We're always going upstream. So, and then daily call for the assemblage point balance, which is in front of your heart. So I want you all to do this. And then maybe I'll have you all work with someone else if you can find someone else near you. So first of all, put your hands way out in front of you in prayer position. That's as far out as your assemblage point goes on most of us. And just by doing this in prayer position, just see if you notice anything. People that see this as a glowing ball when they start to see the inner energy. Donna Eden shares this. And now what I want you to do is I want you to bring your hands across just a little bit and see if you can feel anything. And if you're having trouble feeling it, go ahead and rub your hands together and then you really can feel it. And keep it out there and see if you notice something profound. What the assemblage point does is it connects us to that greater radiant self of ours. And it brings everything, no matter what it is, it brings things back into balance. I didn't even know we had such a thing until just recently when I was doing a Donna Eden online class. All right, and while I'm here, and this isn't in your handouts, but go ahead and rub your hands together. And that just activates the life force and the chi. And then bring your hands just a little bit apart and see if you can feel that electromagnetic energy. I'm sure most of you can. And then just making micro movements in the beginning, start moving your hands. What you're doing is you're building a chi ball. You're building that life force within you. You're saying to the universe, here I am, and the universe hears you because you're talking to it. You're talking to your own greater self, your unconditional love. And the more you can do this is a Qigong practice, maybe Tai Chi as well. Tai Chi and Qigong always work with these radiant energies. And the more you can do this when nobody's looking, or I do it sometimes when people are looking because I don't care. The more you're building your light body radiance within your field so that you have that 26 feet of expanse around you where nothing that is negative can touch it. And I mean nothing. That's where I was way back when. I'm still working on it. All right. And Cook's hookup in all variations. Oh, I know what I want you to do next is I want you to find a partner and just find somebody that's close to you. And I want you to put your hands out in front of them and in that way and see if you can access that assemblage point. I think this is so profound because I didn't even know it existed. And to think of what it does, it brings everything together. So put your hands out. Yeah, good. Good. So that your arms are way out and then expand your little ball and then intend, look at their heart center. Look at their heart center. Just look at it and see if you notice anything just by doing this. That's all. That's all. Good job. Can you all feel something a little bit more magnetic, more anything? Good job. All right, go ahead and sit down. Now we're going to do Cook's hookup, and Cook's hookup came to us from Wayne Cook. I first met Wayne in Mount Shasta a long time ago at the Weesock Festival, and he was a real cosmic guy. And he had been through all of the cycles of negativity on this planet. He was ready to move on. And so he was doing his best to share all of his wisdom with us all. And he gave us something that really works. So I'm going to have you, if any of you can, and if there's enough room in front of you, I'm going to sit down. I want you to bring your right ankle over on top of your left leg. And if you can't do that, I just want you to cross your ankles. If you can bring your right foot over the leg, that's the best. Now what I want you to do is, for those of you who can only do ankles, how many can only do ankles right now? Okay, I'll show you the ankle one. With the ankle one, and all of you can do this with us while I'm showing, cross at the wrists and then clasp your hands together. Now, however you clasp them together, move one digit over and clasp the awkward way. Does it feel kind of funny? That's because we're in a dominant brain. We don't want to be. We want our brains to be balanced. And then what you will do is you will bring those clasped hands to your heart center. Actually, we'll all do this together. So just cross at your ankles. This is the easiest way. And if we do this for 70 seconds, heart math has proven that we're in heart coherence. Now, what I like to do is when I do my stretches lying down, I like to have people put their teeth together so that their teeth are touching, because the teeth reflex to every organ in the body and also to every vertebrae in our spinal column. So see how holographically amazing that is? So if you put your teeth together and then maybe squeeze a little bit right at your tailbone and intend that some really brilliant light gently move up your spine to your brain center. Do that. And now let us hum for like maybe 70 seconds. So you all ready to hear your cosmic hum? Listen to your own hum. You'll hear others too, but listen to your own. It might be the cosmic own. Here we go. Mm. 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 And pause and just notice. And if you had a release while that was happening, rejoice. Was something that's not needed that was leaving. Good job. All right. You can go ahead and uncross. Okay, so I'm just going to tell you what the bigger thing to do is. You can do this sitting or lying down. I have it on your handouts, but what you're doing is basically the same version does, is it all creates a more aligned spinal column. And the more aligned our spinal column is, the more of that light energy from the creator we can hold in our physical bodies. And so even if you have scoliosis or whatever, this is a good thing to do because it brings more life force into the body just through your intention. And again, it brings the angel swooping down to enfold you as well. So what that looks like, and I'm going to sit in a chair, and then I'm going to talk, and I will maybe take. All right, so bring your right foot over your left foot. And if you can't, no worries. Use the energy in the room to do it. And then you can do one of two things. You can start, first of all, to cross at your wrist, because every time you cross something in your body, you're creating new neural pathways in your brain. Every time you cross the midline of your body, you are creating new neural pathways in your brain. Think of how important that is right now, that we get that balanced brain structure. So anyway, if you do that, just hold and radiate into the top and the bottom of your foot. If you don't do that, and this is the important thing to do, and before I even show you that, first what I want you to do is I want you to bring your wrists together, and where that wrist line is on both hands, bring them together, and then bring your hands into namaste. And just notice if your fingers are in alignment. And a lot of times they are not. So this is one good way to balance your spinal column. We're sacred geometry structures. So if it's a little bit out of balance, this is a way to bring it back into balance. So one hand, your left hand on your right foot, your right hand on your left knee, press down on your right knee and pull up gently on your right foot, and then bend over. And you should feel this somewhere in your body, because it's creating bigger alignment in your body. And listen to your body, never overstretch. Just listen to your body. Now we're going to do it several times with the breath, but I want to share a lot with you. So we probably don't have too much time to do it all, but let's do it with the other foot now. So left foot on your right ankle, and very same thing, holding the foot, pressing down on the knee, bend over and breathe. Breathing is really important. Remember, I told you that I want you to breathe deeply, as much as you can, being mindful, listening. Everything is in your handouts, so you're not going to be overwhelmed with anything I share with you this afternoon. And breathing several times or not, because I want you to come back to that wrist position now, and then put your hands together in namaste. They should, if they were a little bit off, they should be aligned. And if they're not, you need to do it again. And so you can do this as much as you want to during the day, and you are creating a greater spinal alignment within your body. Okay. All right. And before I forget, Scotty, would you please bring the offering that is out on the table? We want to place it right here where the portal is, so that we can bless and magnify everything that comes in that we have brought in. And because we all need abundance to be able to navigate this funny world right now, right? And abundance comes in many, many forms. It goes right down on the floor is fine, right there. Yep, that's good. All right. And so in for spiritual, what we do is we put our hands, because our hands are palm chakras and they carry that light. We're just going to put our hands out. I want you all to do this, because definitely we can bless it maybe 1,000 times, but as much as we need abundance to come into our life. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I give and all that I receive through the bounty of the Creator, that which I am. And so it is. And there it is. And I hope you guys, if you don't have abundance from now on, it's not my fault. All right. Okay, just moving on. This is as you're sitting down, this is a good one to do safely sitting down. Donna Eden, this came from Donna Eden, and she says that a lot of times what is happening now, it's an ascension system. We'll feel lightheaded because of all the plasmic energy that's streaming in, and we'll have a little bit of vertigo or whatever. And so if you get vertigo with this position, no matter, but I'm not asking you all to. So I'm hoping that we're all going to stay good with this. But she says, with your left hand, press deeply into your navel center, into that belly button. And with your right hand, bring your fingers and your thumb together and press deeply into your third eye. And press really deeply as you breathe in deeply. And then press up just a little bit. And this activates and brings together those two energy centers. And our third eye is our guidance center that connects us to the pineal and to creator. And then let that go and do it again. Breathing in deeply, pressing in deeply, and pulling up just slightly. Letting that go, breathing in deeply, pressing in deeply, and up slightly, letting that go. You can practice with this. But I had a session yesterday, and I had an experience that somebody that was working on me saw something huge come into my dantian, my hara, my navel center. And this navel center is also called the cosmic reset button. This is where we store positivity while we're here in form so that we can balance the negative that's all around us if we choose. And so I took that as a sign that what I've been doing is working. So you can play with that one. All right. And another one, and I forget to do this, but this is another one that you can play with. You use your saliva and you rub the back of your ears. So get some saliva in your mouth and then put it on your fingers. Do you mind doing this? And then you rub the back of your ears. And then you rub your brow center. And then you rub in back of your knees and feel the bottoms of your feet. I don't know where on your feet came, but anyway, feel the bottoms of your feet. And maybe you can press in or not. But I know in Qigong and wisdom healing Qigong, we use our saliva to bring in that cosmic nectar. And so if you think about every part of our body being sacred, why not? So you can play with your saliva too. And when something is really delicious, don't you know what happens in your mouth? And doesn't it feel like celebrating when you have that luscious saliva coming in? You can hardly wait to taste it, celebrating this physical form. Good job. All right. Okay, I told you about the cosmic reset button between your heart and your throat. Tapping the thymus area is really important too. So let's do that. I saw Wendy doing it earlier. But Brian Grattan, when he wrote the books Mahatma 1 and 2, he said we should do this every day at least 55 times. Because what this does is it signals our immune system to come on board. And look at what the planet has gone through the last couple years. If we all had had amazing immune systems, maybe we wouldn't have gone through it. We did, and here we are. So it's good. But this is a good way to keep yourself from being sick and catching bugs. Good job. All right, anxiety clearing. So this is a really good one, and it's so simple. That's why we're going through the last page first, because again, we're not going to get through all the materials that I've given you. I hope you at least read them, because I tell you, it's taken me years of blood, sweat, and tears to put all this together. And last night, my computer didn't even work well with my printer. So between your pinky and your ring finger, first of all, I would say put your hands on your heart, but it doesn't, if you don't put your hands on your heart, it still works. But if you put your hands on your heart, it makes it even more powerful because you're connecting to your I am. And then tap on that webbing between the pinky and the ring finger. And that clears anxiety and fear out of your system. It sedates the triple warmer, which is the fight, flight, freeze response in our body. And if you look at our world right now, how many people in our world are in fight, flight, and freeze unnecessarily? Because we're not fear, we're love beings. And so this is a good way just to clear that energy out. And sometimes just doing that, you can feel a shift. I hope you're all feeling shifts. Okay. I was in childcare for 20 some years, and sometimes my kids would have big temper tantrums. And it was like they were magnetically pulling you into that anger. And there was a rule in the state of Colorado that we were not to harm the children in our care, which makes perfect sense. We don't want to, right? But it was really big anger. And one thing you can do when you're in the field of someone who is really angry, you know this body move, but people are smart about this one, so don't do it. But what you can do is you can just place your fingertips right at the base, at the xiphoid process, right where the solar plexus is, right where the core star energy is. Just press your fingertips here, just like they can't get in. They can't get in. This is the energy center. Isn't that so cool? And isn't it so simple? And sometimes when we're out in the world, we do have people get angry at us. No, do this. And act appropriately, of course. All right. Breathe and balance to clear headaches. So let's do that with one another, with ourselves, first of all. So your hands have chakras in their palms, and we'll call on Saint Germain to activate everyone's here if they haven't been activated already. And if you want to always rub your hands together, that activates the chi as well. And then bring your hands to the side of your ears and see if you can feel one hand talking to the other hand. Can you? Good. Now, if there is a headache in the body, sometimes just this alone, because the ears are balance points and they connect to the galactics as well. And I'll show you that in a little while, but just feeling the energy here. Now, just moving your hands, just micro movements. See if there's any imbalance in your field at all, any imbalance at all. If something feels different, just kind of move your hand there. Just by your moving your hand here, you will be clearing something that probably doesn't belong. So you don't even have to have a headache for this to work. This is a wonderful thing to do just to balance the body. But this really works on clearing headaches. And there are other things that clear headaches as well. So maybe one hand, and this isn't in your handouts, but one hand on your forehead, one hand at the base of your occiput. You can do that, and that will also sometimes clear headaches. If it's a digestion headache, this one, putting your hand on your forehead, is a really good one, because that's generally something that your body hasn't aligned with or agrees with, and it clears toxicity. Good job. All right. Okay, I talked to you about creating new brain neural pathways by crossing the midline of the body with cross crawls or similar moves. And you've been sitting for a long time, so it's probably time for you to stand up again. Let's do some cross crawls, okay? And cross crawls are old. And so all you have to do is move one knee across the body and touch it with the other hand. And then so. Now, if you really want some exercise, you can put your elbow down towards your knee. But just doing cross crawls really brings positive energy into the body. And you know why that is? Because we're spiraling beings of light. And we, in our linear world, we've forgotten, and we're only using the left brain more than we use the right brain. So anytime you do the cross crawls, you're bringing more of that spiraling alignment back together. And Donna Eden, I can't say enough about Donna Eden. If we have time, we'll do more of what she shares. But she sees the energy, and she is amazing in what simple things she shares. She and her daughter share that clear, just like this, negative energy or patterns of imbalance out of the body. So thank you for cross crawling. Do you feel different? Do you feel energized? Say yes. All right. Okay, let's see. Oh, the pineal mudra. I'll show you that one too, because that creates new neural pathways in the brain. Again, bring your hands in prayer position. All right, now clasp your hands together. Now, however you clasp them together, move that pinky one move over. And doesn't it feel weird? If your brain is in imbalance, it will. And then bring your index fingers up into temple position. And this in and of itself, even if you hadn't crossed one digit over, is a pineal mudra. But when you cross in that silly way, what you're doing is you're really activating the pineal gland, creating new neural pathways in that high brain center. Isn't that cool? It's so simple. And guess what? You can do this in your lap when you're at a meeting or watching television. Who watches television? I don't. But you can do it anytime when you're quiet. It's a wonderful thing to do. And in the beginning, it feels weird. I've done it for so many years. I can't a lot of times feel the difference between my right and my left, which is a good thing. That means I'm moving it. Good. All right. Chin Shi, cosmic energy pump and heart opener. I love this. I share this in my stretch classes almost every time. And it's a wisdom healing Qigong. So those of you who do wisdom healing Qigong here in the room recognize this one. I always make things my own, and I invite you to do the same thing. No matter what you learn, make it your own. If you don't like what you're learning, make it your own. Or if the sounds don't resonate with you, do your own sounds. So I like to do a clearing ha sound with this one, but if you just breathe, that's good enough. So first we'll breathe, and then if you feel like it, you can add the ha with me, okay? It's a ha ha. All right. Hands in an angled position. Go ahead and stand up. Hands in an angled position. Spread your fingertips way apart and pull in 10 lightning bolts from the unformed, from the formless place, that beyond the beyond. Pull that into your fingertips as a visualization. And now on the in breath, you're going to go back and you're going to kiss your shoulder blades. You're going to keep your arms straight. You're not going to move your elbows. And then on the out breath, you're going to push out and down in front of you. And so let's do that just a few times, just with a breath. Kiss those shoulder blades. Gosh, you guys are good. This is big energy. Let's do the ha. 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 Ha ha. Ha ha. Ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha. One more. Ha 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 ha. And now just hold and feel. And don't you feel the chi coming into your palms? This is so huge. This is the cosmic energy pump. And just by doing it, it brings in fresh new cosmic energy. Not just oxygen, it brings in prana. Isn't it cool? Just feel it. Just feel it. Take it in. It goes where it needs to go. It's innate intelligence. So it's going wherever it needs to go in your body. All right. Good job. You can sit down now. Okay, I'm going to skip squatting because I think when we need some exercise, we may come back to that. And Scotty, I don't see the clock because there's a light in front of it. Is it after 2 almost? Okay, we're going to do just a few more and then we're going to take our 20-minute break. Oh my gosh, I can't believe how quickly the time is moving. All right. When there is a heart arrhythmia or tachycardia, and there may be because the energies that are coming in now there's a lot of solar flashes coming in now. And if your body is not equipped to handle those solar flashes, sometimes it will create an imbalance in your heart rhythm. And so something that you can do, I have a heart mudra too. And if you're interested, email me and I'll send you that too. It's a Sanskrit mudra that is for the heart and any kind of blood pressure issues. But I didn't put that on your handouts, but this I did. So bring your hands into that coning position with your thumbs and fingers together. And at your solar plexus, at that xiphoid process area, right where your ribs come together, start tapping, tapping, tapping. And I did this once with a solar flash, and just like that, my heart stabilized and normalized. No more heart arrhythmia. So this is a good one right now because there is so much big energy coming in. All right. Depression. To create peace, we put our hands over our temples. So let's end with this one, and then I'll give you guys a break. So just put your hands over your temples. Don't you see people doing this? Well, they're doing it instinctually. Put your hands over your temples for depression and to create peace and to give you some clarity. Sometimes people do this when they're frustrated and they want clarity. All right. And now what I want you to do is this is a Donna Eden technique. She calls it the crown pull. Bring your hands just across your forehead. And you can do this if you don't want to mess up your hair, ladies. You can do it in your energy body. Drag your fingers across the forehead, come to the temples. And then a little bit higher, drag, come a little ways across. You don't have to go as far here. And just keep moving all the way across your cranium. Come even to the crown and then to the back until you just keep doing it, breathing as you do it. I'm talking, you breathe. Come all the way down to the base of your occiput. And now just bring your hands to your heart. And once again, before we break, just feel how good it feels to feel those warm hands on your heart and your high heart. Just cherish yourself. We're here to love ourselves. And if we don't love ourselves, it's hard to love someone else. So we start with us. One of the masters years ago told me, it's you first, God and you. And God is really just the love that we already are. We're just connecting with it. And maybe some of you will feel your hands quiver because codes are coming in. Sometimes when those higher dimensional codes come in, they make your hands quiver. You don't have Parkinson's. It's just the light that's bringing in beautiful new codes of energy. Feel the beautiful, beautiful stillness and love and peace that you've created in the room. And then because we've probably accumulated through the body some of that old energy that's no longer serving us, let's just very gently bring our hands around and just kind of gently shake it out and move any stagnation into the violet flame. Ooh, good job. Ooh. Woo, yay. Hands up in a V for victory position. Pull it in. 10 streams of cosmic energy through those fingertips. Pull it in. Comes right down your arms into your heart. And our heart is our balance point. between heaven and earth. Good job. 20 minutes. I'll see you back here. And remember, downstairs is food. Downstairs is also the books that I'm going to hopefully have time to share with you. You can thumb through those little I am presence pictures you can put in your wallet. And if you didn't get an accelerator to put in your energy field and you want one that connects to you, go ahead and do that too. See you back here in 20 minutes.